Hey guys, now we are going to switch to the layout segment, and this is it is like a replacement of the Adobe InDesign tool. Now I'm gonna show how all these tools are used. First one is obviously the move tool. If we have anything on our canvas, suppose let's create a segment here. Let's create a star as well. Here are the star. Let's change the color and change the color here. Now, if you want to move this, we can simply move this. It just works exactly as it used to work in the other segment, which is the pixel and the vector. And the next one is the node selection tool. Node selection tool works quite like the move tool, but instead of selecting the whole layer, it only uses the nodes to move the tool. Suppose we have created this star here. If I want to change the star, we can change this. Suppose let me create something to demonstrate this tool. Let's create a random shape here. So now let's first select the move tool, as you can see, it is giving the option to select the whole layer. But when we click on the node tool, it is giving us an option to select the nodes instead of moving the whole layer. Next one is the frame text tool. This is very interesting tool. This works exactly like it used to work in the Adobe InDesign. It gives a text box. This is a very random text box, and it also gives you a line where we can attach a different text box in the same text box. So these both text box are now connected. Let me show you. If you click on this, now if I click this, as you can see, this is an arrow which shows that both of the text box are connected. So if I add a lot of text in the first one, it will automatically go in the second one. Let me show you with a real life example. Suppose if we select all of these text here, and if I copy this, as you can see, this is automatically going in the second box. So if I want to just increase or decrease the size, we can do that here. This is, I have selected the move tool. Now you can see it is giving us the option to decrease or increase the size, and the rest of the text is automatically going in the second box. So this is how frame text box works. Next one is very interesting. This is the table tool. It works quite like it used to work in the Excel. We have selected the table tool here, and when we drag, as you can see, this is creating all of the tables. For decreasing the number of tables, we can just simply select all of the table just like we used to do in the Excel. Right click on it and you can just simply delete the rows here. And in the same way, if we want to delete some columns, suppose I want to keep 5 columns, just select all of the columns just exactly like we used to in the Excel, and now we can just right click and simply delete them. Now we can drag and increase or decrease the size, as you can see, and now we can put anything here, simple as that. And it is also giving us a layer, so it's easy to change any kind of setting, add properties or move. Next one is the artistic text tool. This works exactly as it used to work in the other segment, which are the pixel and vectors. You can just add any kind of text, and if we change the size here, the text will also change the size. It's simple as that. Next one is the pen tool. Pen tool again works exactly as it used to work in the other segments. This gives us nodes where we have more control on our design. So as you can see, when I clicked on the pen tool, it gave us all of the nodes here. Now I can select and just move all of the nodes here. Now I can create any kind of shape here with my pen tool. As simple as that. This is quite a simple thing. If we want to create a straight shape, you can just click on anywhere and hold shift. It will create a straight line. Just do it again, hold shift, click, and it will create a straight line. If we want to create a curve, while clicking we need to drag and it will create a round shape. So this is how it works. The next one is the shape tool, and in the shape tool we have a lot of tool, way more tools than Photoshop used to provide, and which is a plus point. As I've already told you, there are a lot of shapes to work on. This is rectangle, this is ellipse, this is a round rectangle. Here we can play with the edges. Here is the triangle, and there are a lot of tools to work with. Let's erase this. Next one is the picture frame rectangle tool. This is something which is quite similar to the InDesign. Let's click on this tool and drag. Now it is giving us a frame. Now what we can do is we can select and add any kind of image here. Suppose we want to add this image. I have just dragged and dropped. Now it is taking the shape of the frame that we had created earlier, and if we want to change this, we can do that here. As you can see, this is also, it is also giving us the zoom option, and if we want to change other settings, we can do that from here as well, just with the help of move tool, just like we used to do with any other layer. The next one is the ellipse photo tool. This is quite the same tool. Suppose I dragged an image, it will do the same thing as the rectangle photo tool, as the rectangle picture tool. This works exactly in the same way, so I don't have to explain this from very beginning. This one is another interesting tool. This is place tool. Suppose we select an image here. Now it is giving a quite similar environment, just like we used to have in InDesign. Whenever we used to select an image, it usually doesn't place the image on the canvas. What it does is it usually allows us to give an option to drag the image to put the image. So we are getting the same exact feature here. It given an option. Now we can drag and place the image. It works exactly like in that way. Now we can do the same thing. We can either increase or decrease the size just by move tool, and this works quite similar. Now the next one is the vector crop tool. As I've already told you, vector crop tools usually work with multiple vectors. I created these shapes. If I select all of these shape, I will be able to crop them together. I have grouped them, and now as you can see, now I'm able to crop them together. This is the only use of the vector crop tool. And the next one, for moving on to next one, let's undo this. Now next one is the fill tool. This tool is used for filling colors in the object. As you can see, I just clicked and dragged. Now we have two pivot points here, the lighter gray, here the darker gray. Suppose if I want to change the color here on the lighter green side, now I can do that. If I want to change the color on the darker green side, I can do that too. Now as you can see, I have selected black on this side and pink on this side, so it is giving the exact color that we had. So let's do it again. Let's choose another color here. Let's choose blue or purple this time, and here we will choose yellow. So let's click on this node and we will choose the yellow color here. As you can see, this is as simple as that. Next one is the transparent fill tool. Transparent fill tool works quite like the color tool, but except instead of filling the second color, it just reduces the opacity. So whenever we are clicking this, as you can see, this is just removing the color, and this is a gradient like opacity. So if we change the color of our background, let's create another rectangle. Let's change this, and if I move the layer to background, it is giving an effect of reducing opacity gradient here. The next one is the eyedropper tool. This is a very simple tool for selecting any color on the canvas. We just need to select the layer, and if we click on any space where we have the color, even if it's white, it will just select the exact color and put it on the selected layer. The next one is the hand tool. This is just simply just used for moving the artboard. This is just simply used for moving the artboard here. Now last one is the zoom tool. It works exactly in the same way it used to work in pixel and vector. Click and move to left, it will zoom out. Click and move to right, it will zoom in. So these were all of the tools in the layout segment. I hope you have a little bit of understanding of how all of these tools works. This is quite a great alternative to Adobe's Photoshop, InDesign and Illustrator, and we hope this software is going to be a really good alternative to a Photoshop, Illustrator and Design, because those software are quite outdated and also, insanely heavy. I'm using all of these three segments here, and still I feel this software feels like, really heavy as the Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign. So yeah, these were the tools overview. I'll see you in the next segment. As we all know, Canva just recently bought the Affinity, and I see nowadays a lot of people are trying to switch from Adobe's products to some different alternatives, and Canva's Affinity seems to be the right choice. And in this segment, we are just going to start the course for the Affinity, the overall program. And in this section, I'm gonna tell you about all of the tools that we have available in the Affinity program. If you want to go for the overview of the overall software, you can check the previous section. I have mentioned where you can find all the tools, where you can find all of the properties, what are these are board for, and how you can switch the panels, the overall, the option, the menu and all of those things. In this section, I'm only going to focus on the tools of the Affinity program. The first tool is obviously the move tool. As the name suggests, obviously it is going to move anything if you want to move in the workspace. Suppose we have a rectangle here and I want to move this. I can just simply select the move tool here, and now I can select the rectangle and I can move it. It's simple as that. And also we can reduce or and also we can play with the sizes. When you click here, when you move the pointer here on the lower bottom side of the rectangle, you will find that it is changing the icon, and now we can actually play with the settings. And if we move the pointer a little bit outwards, as you can see, it is again changing the icon. When we show this icon, we can actually rotate the rectangle. And also, as you can see on the left side, on the right side, it is also showing the amount of rotation, the angle of rotation with we are doing. And if you hold shift, as you can see, I am holding shift, it is only rotating in the units of 15 degrees. And next tool, which is the artboard tool. So I already said, for creating anything we need to have an artbook, and inside the artbook we create the actual things. We can keep other assets or something, anything like that outside of the artboard, but for creating the real products we need to use the artboards. So here is our artboard. If you want to create a new artboard, we can just simply click on the artboard tool here and just drag it here. As you can see, a new artboard is creating, and in the same way, if we want to create more artboard, we can just do this, simple as that. And as you can see on the right side, we have got all of the artboard. If you want to create another rectangle, we can use the rectangle tool. You can just click on the rectangle tool, and if we click here, as you can see, it is going in exactly the exact artboard that we have chosen. So this is how artboard tool works. We can also erase all of these artboards if we don't need it. Just select the artboard, just click backspace, and it will give you option if you want to keep the object or if you want to delete the object. So I want to delete the object, so I'll just choose delete object. Here let's select this artboard and erase it. Let's select this artboard and just hit backspace and it's erase. This is not an artboard, this is a rectangle, as you can see here. Or with the artboard tool we can also increase or decrease the size. Suppose you want to change the size of this artboard, we can just simply choose the artboard icon. We can just simply choose the artboard tool, and here as you can see he can simply change the for example, if we want to change the size of our artboard, we can just simply choose the artboard option, and here as you can see it is giving the icon where we can click and change the size of our artboard. You can see it is changing the size. And on the left side, if we on the right side, choose if we click on the artboard tool, we can change the size, the height and the width at the same time. The next tool we have is the node tool, I guess. Yes, node tool. So let's create a rectangle here, then I can show you how you can use the node tools. Let's select the node tools here. And with the help of node tool, what we can do is we can edit the properties of this shape here. But before that, we need to first convert it into curve. Now, as you can see here, we can just click on the right side of the toolbar and we can move it as we want. As you can see here, it's free now. Now the next tool is the point transform tool. And then, and if you see on the top side, we have different option on selecting how we can use the node tools. If we choose the smooth option here, as you can see now it is giving us for the smooth option. If we click here and select the smooth option, it is just removing the exact sharp angle, and now it's giving a soft curve. Now the next tool is the point transform tool. This is something that we can actually just choose the pivot point. This is a pivot point here, as you can see. Now if I move this pivot point here and if I select this, and now as you can see we can rotate this overall shape here. So this is the exact pivot point. This is what the point transform tool does. Now the next tool is the corner tool. Let's first delete this and create a new rectangle here. And now if we select the corner tool, as you can see it is giving us the option. Now we can just play around with this one. Now what corner tool does is it creates obviously the corners. And if we move our pointer here, as you can see it is giving another option of a little bit curve. And while giving this curve, if we click on this, as you can see it is now giving us the corner, which is a kind of a circle. And let's do the same here. Let's move this pointer close to the edge. Now it is giving the icon. Now if we move here, as you can see it is giving the exact option. Let's do the same here. Yes, it is exactly giving the same here. Now we select all of the corners at once by pressing the shift key. We can change the curve at the same time. As you can see here, I selected all of the corners just by pressing the shift key. Now I can change all of the sides at the same time. So now I don't have to go and individually fix all of the edges. I can just simply select all of the edges at once, and now I can fix or design the overall edges. Now the next one is the counter tool. What this tool does is, as you can see here, if you click the counter tool, we can just simply just resize the shape according to our needs. We can either reduce the size, or if we need we can increase the size. And after increasing the size, suppose I want this design to be this much larger, I can just click on big appearance. Now I can play with the rectangle exactly as I wanted. I can just select all of the nodes here. As you can see here, I can just play with the nodes. If I can also increase or decrease the overall properties here. Now the next one of the most popular tool in Illustrator or the Photoshop is the pen tool. First let's delete this curve and now select the pen tool. As you can see, the pen tool is selected and it's worked quite the same way that we usually use in the Photoshop or Illustrator. Just click on anywhere, and now if we click again, it will create a path, And if we do the same, it will do the same thing here. It will create a path, and if we click and hold and drag, now as you can see, it is creating a curved path. So this is exactly how it works. Now we are clicking on the exact position where we started. As you can see, it is already connected the dots on the exact same spot where we started. So it is now connected. It is a closed shape now. We can also, click on the here, click on the color panel, and now we can change the color of this shape as well. This works exactly as the pen tool works in Photoshop or Illustrator, so there is nothing new in this one. Next one is the pencil tool, and pencil tool is exactly as the same as it is in the Illustrator or the Photoshop. And we select the pencil tool and we just click and drag here. And at the same time, as you can see here, it is also given us the points where we can choose, where we can use our move tool. Let's choose a move tool here. Let's choose the node tool here. Now, if I want to move this points here, as you can see, I can do this simply, which is, a great feature here. So let's delete this layer. Let's delete this layer. Let's create something new with the pen tool. Let's create a square. So press shift. Now if I click and drag, as you can see, it is giving a straight line. Let's do the same thing again. Press shift and drag. Here it is giving a straight line. Click shift and drag. It is giving a straight line. Now shift and drag. It is giving the exact straight line. Now as you can see, we have got 4 lines which are straight lines, which together create the box. The next one is the paintbrush tool. Paintbrush is simply used just for the painting or filling the color. First, let's erase all of these layers here, and let's create a shape here. As you can see, this shape is created. Let's go on the color tool. Let's choose our color. The next tool we have is the path brush tool. It works quite like the paintbrush or any other pencil tool. It's just I have chosen the path brush tool, and if I drag, as you can see, it is just moving along with the pointer. Let's change the color here, and it is now getting the other color. If we change the brush size, as you can see here, it is now giving a border brush. It's simple as that. Now this is another important tool, which is a knife tool. Knife tool just simply cuts everything in half, as we used to use the slice tool in the Photoshop, so it works exactly in the same way. Let's first clean this mess, and let's clean all of these first, then I'll show you how we can use the knife tool. First, let's create a line. Now select the knife tool, and if I move this knife tool here, as you can see, it is just cutted. It has created 2 layers, and if I choose this layer is from here to here, and this layer is from here to here. Now if we want to move, we can move this layer along, and it works in the same way. So let's do it again. Let's cut this one, just create a mark here, and if we want to move this layer, we can do that, as you can see here. Now next tool is quite an interesting tool. This is the stroke tool, and this is something which was not available in Photoshop or maybe any other Adobe software. Here, as you can see, this is a thin line, and this is overall the width of the line that we had created earlier. What we can do with the help of stroke tool is we can create another stroke, and we can increase or decrease the width. So in this way, we have more control on this stroke, as you can see. While in the Photoshop and any other Adobe software, we only had control with the single line, or we can say single way throughout the overall design. But here, as you can see, we can create different level of strokes here. Let's do this again. Let's create this another stroke. As you can see, we can just play with the strokes, and now we have more control on the strokes that we create. Now let me show you the next tool, which is the gradient tool. First, let's get rid of all of these layers, so I can create a new shape and show you the gradient tool. Let's first create this rectangle here. This is a rectangle, and as you can see, this is the already gradient. This is the gradient that the shape already has. Now what we can do is we can check the gradient here. We can select and have control on the gradient here. We can select the gradient tool here, which is a fill tool, and now I can just drag and create the fill here. I want to change the color, I can just simply choose the color here. And if I just want to change the color from here, we can just simply click on this pivot point and I can change the color from here. This is how simply the fill tool works. And this is another interesting tool, which is the transparency tool. For showing this, let me create another set of rectangle here first, and let's just put this behind this rectangle, and let me change the color so we can see it properly. Now as you can see, this is the background layer is red, and we have chosen a transparency tool. So whenever we are pressing this transparency tool, as you can see, it is giving us a gradient where the the first color is the exact color that we have chosen, and it reduces the color to a gradient. As you can see, it is the total transparent. It reduces the color's transparency. As you can see, this section is totally transparent. If I change the color here in this one, as you can see, let's select this and change the color here. As you can see, the bottom rectangle colors is changed, and if we change the color here, it is giving a different color, and it is reducing the overall opacity here, so it is becoming transparent. This is how a transparent tool works. Let's erase all of these first. Now one of the most important tool that we will be using all of the time, which is the rectangle and overall shape tool. As you can see, there are a lot of tools to work on. While on Photoshop only gives us the basics tool, the rectangle, ellipse, triangle, and polygon. But here we have a lot of different tools. So, and as you can imagine, this is just simply the shape tool. I have selected the rectangle or the square tool. So if I just drag my mouse here, I can create a rectangle. If I press shift, I can create a perfect square. And in the same way, let's erase this. Let's go on the circle tool. We have selected the circle tool. If I drag, we can create a circle. If I press the shift, we can create the perfect circle. And the next one is the soft edge corner or rectangle, as you can see here. And if I this is another addition in the Affinity suite that Photoshop any other Adobe software never had in default. We have created a square here, and which already have soft edges, and in the soft edges we can also choose how much soft edges we want just by clicking on this area. As you can see, this is quite a simple, and this is a feature built in already in the shape tool, so this is quite handy. Let's erase this one. Let's go on the triangle tool. As you can see, if I just drag my mouse, I can create triangle, and if I press shift, I can create a perfect triangle. So this is how the shape tool works, and all of these other shape tools work in the same way. And the next tool we have is the shape builder tool, and the shortcut is the S. For demonstrating the shape builder tool, I'll have to create some shape. Let's create some rectangle and some stars. Let's change the color here. Now what we can do with the shape. Now with the help of shape builder tool, what we can do is we can just subtract or erase this area. Suppose we can just click on this area, and this area will be deleted here. As you can see, I can drag the line here, and when I'm dragging, it is cancelling or erasing the shape exactly where I'm moving. Let's select this layer here. If I click on this layer, as you can see, it is just subtracting the exact layer that we are moving to. Now the next tool is the vector flood fill tool. As you can see, this is just simply the paint bucket. We have already selected color here. If we click on this one, it will just put the color on the shape. Let's create another shape. Let's create another shape here, and let's change the colors here. First, let's select our colors. This is the color, as you can see here. If we change the color and click on this one, as you can see, this is changing the color. Let's choose green. If I click here, as you can see, this is changing the color. Now the next one is the type tool. This is obviously the type tool. With the help of this tool, we can just use the tool. We can use the text. And if we choose the type tool here, as you can see, I can just click and put anything here. Just reduce the size here. As you can see, if I type affinity, as you can see, this is giving us some nice box and it is giving us the text. And we want to change the size, we can also do that here. If we want to change the size here, as you can see, this is locked and we can change the size from here as well. And the next one is the type box tool. This is a little bit different from the regular type tool. The regular type tool is just simply the tool which is used for typing. It will automatically take the size of the text, but for the text box tool, text box is different. You have more control on the box rather than having just control on the text. So this is the text and this is a box. I can choose the size of the box here, but here we can't do that. If you want to change the size of the box, as you can see, it is also changing the size of the text. So this is the only difference here. And the next one is the image tool. And as you can see, this is just simply used for putting any kind of image on the artboard. Now as you can see, the image, our image is placed. If we want to move the image, we can just simply do that just by clicking here. This is the image, and if we want to move this, we want to make this larger or smaller, we can just use the move tool and we can do that here. And the next one is the vector crop tool. For showing the vector crop tool, I'll have to create some vectors here. Now we are creating some vectors, as you can see here. Let's just move these. Let's create another shape. Now let's choose our tool. What we'll do is it will just create a border line along with the vector shape. As you can see, we can crop the vector shape here. We can also do that with other tools as well. If we do this, if we merge all of these tools, as you can see, it is giving another line. Now we can crop all of these shapes here. The next one is the measure tool. As you can imagine by the name, this is just for measuring two distances. First, let's click on one point, then click on another point, and it will give you the exact distance between the 2 points. Next one is the area tool. For tool, let me create some shape. Here's the shape, and as you can see, we have clicked on the area tool, and the area tool is showing the exact area that the shape as this is showing something 59,631.4 mm square. So this has exactly this much amount of area. The next tool is the eyedropper tool. We use this tool in Photoshop and Illustrator as well. And as you can see, this is just for just changing, just for selecting the exact color that we want to have in the color tool. Let's create some more shapes so I can demonstrate this in a better way. These are two tools, and if I want to change the color of polygon to this color, I can just simply uh, select the polygon layer, and if I click on this layer, it will change the color automatically. The next one is the hand tool. Obviously, the hand tool is a very simple tool. This is just for using the hand. We can just drag with this tool. Suppose we have multiple artboards here. Let's create some more artboards here. It's a multiple artboards, and if we want to drag, we can just simply choose this tool and we can drag our overall artboard here. And the last tool is the zoom tool. Obviously, when we click on this tool, and if we move left and right just by clicking, as you can see, it is zooming and zooming out. This is how simple it works. So these are all of the tools in the vector segment. In the next section, I'll explain the tool in the pixel segment. Pixel is mostly related to just a software like Photoshop, and vector is mostly related to software like Illustrator. And in the Pixel software, when we click on the Pixel, it will obviously give all of the tools which are mostly available in the Photoshop. So this is how this works. So yeah, this is the vector section, and I'll move to the next section. So hey guys, this is now the time for the Photoshop version of the Affinity suite, which is the pixel version. And now I'm gonna show you, which is the pixel section. And now I'm gonna show you all of the tools which are available in the pixel section. First one is obviously the move tool. You can use a move tool to move anything here. Suppose we created a shape here. Let's check the move tool. Now I can move the shape. That's all in the move tool. Second one is the perspective tool. For perspective tool, you can literally change the perspective of anything which is available on the artboard, and this is how you can change the perspective of anything. As you can see, there are different type of settings in the perspective tool as well. A third one is the mesh wrap tool. Mesh wrap tool works quite in the same way, but the thing is, mesh wrap gives you way more control than the just the perspective tool. As you can see, we can also change the perspective, but at the same time we can also move all of the points here. As you can see, I have changed the rectangle to literally a blob. Now now the next tool is the crop tool, and by the name you can just imagine this is just for cropping all of the things which are available on the artboard. This is used for just cropping the artboard. Uh, this is your artboard. If you click on the crop tool, you can either increase the size or you can also decrease the size. Just click on the crop tool. Now you can crop the artboard. Simple as that. Next one is the object selection tool. So suppose let's import an image, and I'll show you how we can use the object selection tool here. Suppose this is an image of a brain. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Now we want to select any object, we can just simply choose the object selection tool. For using the object selection tool, you need to download something extra. It will just guide you. You can just click on the settings and it will download the segmentation model. As you can see, the segmentation model is downloading. Let's wait for this and we can use the object selection tool afterwards. It is now downloaded. Let's go and select the object selection tool. Now if we click on this one, as you can see, it is selecting the object here. Simple as that. This works exactly right in the same way as Photoshop used to do. You select an area and it will give you the exact selected object here. So quite handy when you are selecting any kind of object. Next one is this action brush tool. This this tool too works quite exactly like the old Photoshop version. You can just drag on your artwork and it will select the object automatically. Simple as that. And you can also in the same way as Photoshop used to do, you can choose to add or you can also choose to subtract. You can also change the width. You can also play with different setting like here the snap to edges and all. The next tool is the flush selection tool, and it works exactly like the name suggests. It uses the surroundings to select the object. Now the next one is this marquee tool, a very popular tool in Photoshop, which where we can select any object. We can either copy paste it like this. I have selected this area, and as you can see, I have copied this area. If I want to move this area, I can simply do that here. Now you can see I have just copied the area just by using the marquee tool. And in the same way, we have other marquee tool as well. We have rectangle, obviously the basic one. We have this actually we have the circle, we have the rectangle, and we also have hand selection tool. Suppose we want to select all of these points here, we can do that with this tool. And as I already told you, this is a fill tool. This is used to fill the gradients or the colors inside the object. As you can see, I have just dragged here. Now as you can see, this has added the color in this one. And if I want to change the color, as you can see, just by clicking on here and this one, I can change all of the colors. You can play with all of these settings in the top side of the software. Here is the option to choose between fill or stroke settings. Here is the option to choose a type of fill we want to fill in the artwork, and there's the outbox. You can just choose any kind of fill here and you can change or play with the settings here. Next one is the flood fill. As you can see, as you can imagine by the name, this just floods all of the designs here. As you can see, there is no gradient now. It is just flooding my designs to the color that I'm choosing. Next one is the paintbrush tool. Paintbrush tool works exactly in the same way that Photoshop used to do. It just paints. It has all of the settings as you can see here on the top. You can choose between the width, the blurriness, the sharpness, and everything is here. Next one is the paint mixer brush. This is something new here. And this is another interesting tool, which is the paint mixer brush tool. Let's import an image to show you how we can use this tool. And let's just increase the size here. Now we have the image, we have the brush selected, and if I drag here, as you can see, it is just painting on the image itself. And we can choose between different kind of settings here and then all in the right side of the software. And we can also choose between all of the brush here. As you can see, we have multiple types of brush here. Let's undo this, select the brush, and now if I click on it, as you can see, this is giving a very beautiful artistic type of effect here. Next one is the color replacement brush tool. If we choose any kind of color, and now if I paint over, as you can see, it is changing the color. This is something when you want to change the color without damaging the overall design. In those cases, this tool is quite handy. As you can see, I am just painting over the image and it is changing the color. Next one is a pixel tool, and pixel tool works quite like the other brush tools. But the only difference is it uses quite like pixels. As you can see here, this is not a regular brush. This is it creates pixels to brush all of those things. And the next one is the eraser tool. Let me first erase all of the layers here first. Let me drag the image again, and this is the eraser tool. Eraser tool is selected, and obviously if I click on this one, if I drag here, it will just erase the content that I'm drawing on. Next one is the background erase brush. If I want to erase any kind of background, I can do that here. This is not the perfect image to show how the background tool works, but I think you are getting an idea. As you can see, this is only leaving the subject here, but at the same time, it is erasing or removing the background. So this is how background removal tool works. And the next one is the flood erase tool. Works exactly like the paint bucket tool, but in reverse, it erases the exact place where we click on. We can choose between the tolerance and the other settings here. As you can see, this is at 20% tolerant. If we increase the tolerance, as you can see, it is removing all of these things. Let's undo this. Next one is the adjustment brush tool. As you can see, this is how it works. We had burn, I guess, in the Photoshop, so it works quite in the same way. It is good tool to increase or decrease the exposure. As I said, we have burn brush tool too here. As you can see, wherever I'm clicking, it is burning all of these things. it is burning all of the data. And in the same way, the dodge also works. Whenever I'm clicking, it is, making the content light. Next one is the sponge tool. Sponge tool exactly works like a sponge as it used to work in the Photoshop. It gives you a sponge like effect. Whenever I'm clicking, it is giving like a sponge effect. This is another interesting tool. This is filter brush tool. It gives more control on any kind of filter that we put on the image. Suppose we have a filter selected here. This is the Gaussian blur. And if I click on the image, as you can see, this is just giving Gaussian blur exactly on the spot where I'm clicking, and it is leaving all of the other image as it is. And we can choose between other type of effects here. As you can see, these are other kind of effects. Let's choose motion blur. As you can see, I'm clicking here. The rest of the image is exactly as it was earlier, but on the same space, on the same spot that I've clicked, it is giving us the effect. Next one is the sharp, it's a blur tool. Obviously, this just blurs the image. This is nothing new. Next one is the sharpen brush tool, exactly opposite of the blur tool. It just sharpen the objects. This is very interesting tool in the Affinity. What it does is it reduces the noise that in the image or the canvas. This image does has a lot of noise, so I really can't show you much here, but let's try it. As you can see, I'm clicking here in this space. This is just reducing noise in this space. Then after this is the smudge brush tool. It works exactly like it used to work in the Photoshop. It uses a smudge type of effect and does the same thing as it used to do in the Photoshop. This is the another interesting tool, which is the clone brush tool. The clone brush tool, whenever we try to copy anything from the image, we just need to click on Alt, and as you can see, this is giving the exact copy of the place that we had selected. Very simple term, this is something which we can use to remove anything on the canvas. Let's just select some area here. Let's just try to remove this. We have selected this, and let's see if it removes this or not. Yes, it does. So this is how in painting brush tool works. Next one is the healing brush tool. So this tool works quite exactly like the clone tool, except it has little bit of differentiation. As you can see here, this is not giving exactly as it is, and this is quite like the clone tool, but it has a little bit of differentiation. Suppose I'm taking some sample area from here on the top left side of thing. If I go here on the bottom right, and this is giving you option to copy the sample area. This is how the healing brush tool works. And next one is the patch tool. This is quite like this is quite exactly like the Photoshop. Once you select the area, just move the area and it will. You can just copy the any area. Now if we move the pointer, as you can see, this is given an option to use any kind of any available area in the canvas. Just click it. Now it has given us the area that we had selected. This tool also works quite like the clone tool, but it has a little bit of differentiation. Suppose we have selected the tool. Now if I hit Alt, now if I move my pointer, as you can see, this is giving me the option to copy the sampled area. Click here, and as you can see, it is giving me the option to copy the sample area. And the next one is the red eye removal tool. Obviously, this does exactly what it says. It removes the red eye whenever you have any kind of red eye effect in your photographs. Let me remove the layer. Let's move to the next tool, which is the pen tool. And exactly as I've told you, this is just simply the pen tool. You can just click on anywhere, drag it, and it will give you the shape. This can be used for creating either shape, or you can also create any kind of outline here. As you can see here, in this way we can change or play with the settings, which is the background color or the strokes. Next one is the node tool. As I already told you, this node tool was exactly with the nodes. Here you have created this shape with multiple nodes. The shape is already created, and whenever I'm clicking on the node tool, it is giving me option to select the nodes. You can just play with the nodes just like here. Next one, and again, is the shape tool. We can create a lot of different kind of shape here, but unlike the Photoshop, which only gives like a rectangle, like ellipse, triangle, and polygonal, the Affinity gives way more control in your shapes here. As you can see here, there are way more control in the shapes panel. There are way more options to create different kind of shapes. Let's just erase this. Now I'll show you the text tool is the same. Whenever we are creating our text, whenever we want to type or add any text, it will give you the text here whenever you click on the canvas, and it will give you option to just use the text box or the outer line to reduce or increase the size. While in the text box tool, you can work and play have you can have more control on the border side. Here we have typed something, and now we can control our border or the text box without damaging the insides of the text box. Next one is the color picker tool. Obviously, I've told you how this works. You just click this tool, just move on to any space on the canvas, and if you click, this will select the color that we had on the canvas. Next one is the hand tool. This works exactly as it says. This is just a simple hand, and you can just use this hand to move in your canvas. And the last one is the zoom tool. After clicking the zoom tool, you can just drag on the left side or the right side. When you move to left side while dragging, it will zoom out, and if you move on the right side while dragging, it will zoom in. So yeah, these were all of the tools in the pixel segment in the Affinity browser. As we are moving forward, we are now getting an idea on how the Affinity works. It is a combination of all of those three major softwares that Adobe used to provide, which are the Illustrator, InDesign, and Photoshop. And now we have all of them in the single space, which is quite good and handy. And we also, at the same time, we don't need to, you know, handle around with a lot of different file types. You can just use a single file type, and that does literally all the job that Adobe software used to work. So hey guys, in this section we are going to learn how we can trace any image, even if it's raster or vector, to our vector layers. Suppose we have an image and we want to convert it to vector, and we can do that just by using the image trace option in the Affinity program, just like we used to do in the Illustrator. And for demonstrating that, let's get an artwork. Let's get something. In this one, there is no watermark, so let's copy this in our workspace, adjust this. Now what we want is we want to have every single layer of these elements. Suppose here are his hairs. In the hairs there are two things, which is the shade and the color of the ear, and then the exterior of the ear. And for doing the same, we are going to use the image trace. Image trace is at, go to menu option, vector, and go to image trace. Now you can see this. Now zoom it. As you can see, this is giving the perfect trace. We can change it. We can play with it a little bit. Now click apply. Now it will take a little time. As you can see, it has given us a group. Now we can work on every single individual layer. Let's change the color of the ear. We are making the color darker. Let's change this color. I'll do the same. Darker color. Let's do the same here. Darker color. Let's change the color of the face here. So this is how we can simply image trace. So this is how simply we can convert any raster image into vector layers. Hey guys, in this section I'm going to show you how we can create any icon in the Affinity program. This is going to be the vector icon, and as you know, mostly icons are created on vector because they are required to some time increase the size. And for demonstrating, here is a rabbit icon. Let's copy this, paste it in our artboard, and we are going to copy this. A very simple to copy this logo or icon to vector is just simply go to image trace. Let me show you that. Go to vector, go to image trace, hit apply, and now we have got the layer. It's simple as that. Oh, it has given a lot of layers, so let's undo this. Let's go here. Let's copy this layer, erase this layer. Now we only have this layer. Let's go to image trace, click apply. Now it has given us the layer. So these are some more layers. This is the curve. This is another curve. This is, I think, background. So let's remove the background. And this is the eye. So this is how our image is traced, simple as that. But we are going to use the traditional method, which is the pen tool method. And as you can see, this is not vector, this is raster. So we are going to trace it. So for tracing it, let's choose the pen tool. Let's start, tracing the object. Let's click it here. It looks like a straight line. So let's click here directly without any, dragging. Let's click here, but this time we are going to drag. Let's click here. Let's click here again. First, let's break this here. Now click here. Again, click here and drag. And let's break this. Now again, click here. Now when you break this, just hit Control and Alt, break this, click here. Now do the same again here. Click and drag. Now we need to break this again. Use Control and Alt, break this. Click here and drag. Done. Now need to break this again. Click Control and Alt, break this. You can move this as well. Click Control. Now move this point. Now click here. And now do the same here. We need to break this point. Click Control Alt here. Now just drag. Let's do here. Now we are, so we cannot see the background here. So let's do one thing. Let's reduce the opacity of the clear color. Here is a color option. Let's reduce the opacity. Now we can see this. So we can continue working here. Let's click here again. Oh, first we need to break this arm. Use Control Alt, break this, click here. Now click here and drag. The arm is long, so we need to break this, click here and drag a little bit. We need to break this arm, break this arm. Click and drag. We need to break this arm, click Control Alt, break this, click here, no need to drag. Now this is our final point, so click here and just drag. Now let's go back with the 100% opacity. Click here on the color, go back to 100% opacity. As you can see, our object is traced. It has a little bit of strokes. We are going to reduce the strokes. Click here. Here is the stroke option. Click and reduce this, or you can just reduce the stroke amount to 0. Now our stroke is gone. Now we can change the color. So this is how simply we can trace any icon or any kind of logo or maybe any kind of image in Affinity space. Now if I need to any kind of gradient, so for gradient we just need to go on this tool, we just need to go on the fill tool, just drag here just like this. Now we can change the color. If I click here, it will control the color here. As you can see, if I click here, it will control the color on top. So as you can see here, this is how we can add any kind of gradient. So yeah, this is how we can trace any kind of object or any kind of logo or maybe any kind of icon from scratch in the Affinity Vector program. Hey guys, as we have already moved a lot in the Affinity program, and in this section I'm going to show you how we can remove any background from any subject. I'm only talking about the complicated things just like trees, leaves and maybe hairs. And there are a lot of inbuilt features in both of the softwares, in Affinity program and also in Photoshop, which is known as Refine Edge. And I'm going to show you how we can use that to to remove any background, any complicated background safely. So for demonstrating, I am going to select this layer. As you can see, this is a tree and I am going to copy paste the overall tree in some different layer. So obviously what we need to do is we need to select the subject. This is the subject here and I am going to select the trees. But obviously, as we can imagine, the trees, the selection of the trees is going to be very complicated because the tree branches are quite thin, and if we click on this, as you can see, it is not taking the selection properly. So we need to fix that, and for fixing this we are going to use refine edge function. So first we need to select the tree and after that we use refine edge functions. So for selecting the tree we are going to use object selection tool. So while I clicked on the object selection tool, as you can see, it is already giving us the selected area on the subject. Either we can select the background, we can select these areas, these mountains. We can also select the foreground, these green grasses, and we are going to select our tree. So let's click on this. As you can see, this is already giving the green lines. Click on it. Now it has selected the tree, as you can see. But the thing is, it is not very clear. As you can see, the selection is not very clear. It is not taking the exact thing that we want. So we are going to do one thing, which is refine edge. So keep the tree selected and click on here on the top left side. Here is the option for refine. Click on it. Now you got the option for refined. So now what refine does is it usually tries to understand the subject from the background and it removes it manually. So you can see we are getting a type of brush, and if we click on it, now as you can see the overall blue unselected part is also selected, and in this way we can clean overall selection. Let's do this again. Let's click on this, and as you can see this is doing quite well. Let's click again. It is doing quite well. So I am going to click on it everywhere where the trees branches are. As you can see, this is working quite well. Just keep clicking and just keep erasing all of the space that you want to refine, and it will keep doing the job. Currently, I do not feel like that I need to change the settings, but if you want, you can change the settings from this section. Now, as you can see, our selection is quite good now. Let's click apply. Now it is showing the right Now it is showing the right selection. Now what we are going to do is we are going to click on the mask layer, click here, and now it is done. As you can see, there are some spaces which are still not covered. So let's go back, let's click undo, let's click on refine edge and click on this area. This area was not properly selected, so I'm going to click on this area now. Let's set apply. Now click on layer mask. Now it is working perfectly. So I'm going to leave this, hit Control D. Now it is looking quite good. Let's make this bigger. Oh, this is only the selection. So let's go. Let's click on layer. The layer mask was selected. So that's why only the layer mask was, changing the size. But now the layer is selected. Now if I move this, now as you can see, the whole layer is moving. Let's create another background so we can see it properly. Now as you can see, our tree selection is looking quite good. And this is how we can select any tree, branches, leaves or hair area. And let's do it again on a different photo. I have this photo already open, so we are going to do the same thing. First select subject, then refine it and add the background. So first select the subjects. For selecting subject, click on object selection tool. It will take some time. It has scanned all of the object. Oh, it's still scanning. It has scanned all of the object. Now if you see, we are getting the green lines here. So let's click on it. Our subject is selected. Click here as well. So yeah, these are also selected now. Let's click on refine and let's zoom in. As you can see, these spaces are not selected perfectly. So just keep clicking on these area. Now as you can see, these are refining quite well. Now I have refined all of the edges. As you can see, now click apply. Now here, and the subject is properly selected. Now click on layer mask. Layer mask is selected. As you can see, this is looking quite good. On the side, it has taken the edges, so I'll show you how we can fix that too. First, before moving to that, let's create a background. Here is our rectangle tool. Control D for unselecting. Shift this background. Now if we move this, it is looking quite good. Now we need to fix these edges. As you can see in the corner, in the left hand side and right hand side, we need to fix this. So what we need to do is we need to erase this. But what we are going to do is we are going to invert erase this. So first, let's invert this just by clicking on Control I. The image is inverted. The mask is inverted actually. This is not the image. Image is. Now click on eraser. Now just erase these borders. Now again click Control I. As you can see, Our subject has been copied properly without any problem. Now let's do this on this image again. Well, this is a white subject on a black background, so this is going to be a little bit, a bit, anyways. So first let's select the subject, click on subject, now click on refine, increase the brush size. As you can see, there are black spaces. We need to remove these black spaces. Just click on it and it will keep doing the black spaces. Now refinement is done, so we are going to click apply and we are going to click before adding one more layer, we are going to click on layer mask. So now our subject is selected, click on Ctrl D. Now let's add a layer to see this. Add a layer, change the color, put this layer behind the object. As you can see, it is looking quite good. So yeah, this is how we can, select any subject, very complicated subject just like trees or hairs from any image just by using selection tool and refine brush tool. So hey guys, one of the most magical feature of Photoshop was the smart layers. Smart layers was basically, just putting the layer or the raster or either vector image into the container where it can be saved if we put any effect on it. And that was one of the most magical thing. And yes, in Affinity we do have that smart layer object, and one another benefit of smart layer was that we used to when we used to work on the mockups, because mockup is the thing which contained a smart where our exact design was placed. So let me show in the Photoshop work how our smart layer was. Obviously this is very simple. There is a smart layer. This is the icon for the smart layer. If we double click on it, it will go to another layer. As you can see, another layer is open. This one is the smart layer. Smart layer is something, Photoshop inside a Photoshop file. Usually the Photoshop file is in PSD and smart layer file is in PSB, as you can see here on the top. So if I do something here, it will show here on our mockup. So let's do something. Let's disable this layer. Let's right here logo, let's change the color, let's make it bigger. So here is our logo, and if I save it and close it, as you can see our logo is placed. And in the same way let's drag our Photoshop file here. As you can see, this one is the smart layer. So in the same way, if I double click on it, as you can see another layer is open. Let's disable this layer. Now let's put something here. I am going to put a text here. This is the text, any random text. Now click on save, close this. Now you can see our layer is here. Let's do this again on any other file. This is a new file. I'm going to do the same here. Let's click on logo, double click on it. Here your logo is open. Disable this, disable this. Let's put on something here. Here have the text, increase the size, click save. Now close it. As you can see our mockup is ready. So yeah, this is how we can use smart layer. And obviously, like we used to work with a smart layer, there are other major uses of the smart layer as well. We used to put any kind of effect on smart layers and our initial image used to be as usual. So in the same way, the smart layers also work in Affinity program. So hey guys, as we have already moved a lot in learning of the Affinity program, in this section I'm gonna show you how you can use a pixel workspace, which is quite close and alternative to what Adobe's Photoshop gives. And in this section, we are going to create a real life project, which is a social media post. This is going to be a very simple social media post, and I'm not going to use a lot of technicalities. I have more focused on, beginners and intermediate learners for this one. So yeah, let's get started to create. The main goal of this social media post is going to be, to make people aware of that we are hiring for some internship. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to press Control N, which is shortcut for creating a new document. This is a new document. We have already a lot of sizes here, and here I am going to use the same sizes. You can see this is 3500 about by by about 4900. So let's change this to 2000 and change this as well to 2000. Let's create the document. As you can see, we got a perfect square. This is 2000 by 2000. Just by and just like we usually do in any kind of social media post. And we add imagery, and we also create different kind of effects. There are a lot of kind of effects, so we are not going to go in very depth. So let's create the background. Yeah, let's choose any square. Let's choose a square, drag it. Now we have got the square. As you can see, the color is a little bit changed. We need to change the color. I'm thinking to create something, more focus on blue and a little bit on the, brownish or yellowish side. So for the background, I'm going to choose something close to blue. So yeah, this seems good. Let's create this. Now just close the color part. Is going to Now the next step is going to create some of the gradients here. For creating some radial gradient, I'm going to go on the Eclipse tool. As you can see, the rectangle layer is already selected. This is a square rectangle as we had chosen the 2000 by 2000 size. I am going to create a perfect circle here. So let's hit shift. Let's set drag it. Now the circle. But the thing is, it doesn't look like we have got a perfect color. So first let's change the color. Double click here. Now change the color. Now this seems okay, but this is a solid color. We need to change this to some kind of gradient, specifically radial gradient. So for doing that, we are going to click on the gradient fill tool. This is a fill tool. If we drag from here, as you can see, this is changing the color. But again, this is a linear gradient. We need something like radial gradient. Here we are going to change the settings from linear to radial. Now, as you can see, we have got a perfect yellowish color at the center and a little bit, dark yellowish color on the outside. So we need dismiss this color. First click on this color, and there's the color. Double click, and as you can see, we can change the color from here. And another way of changing this, we can click here as well. We can choose, you can click here. Now we can use the, now we can change the opacity. Just hit the opacity and change it to 0. Now we've got the perfect color. And we need to, reduce the opacity here. So let's go here on the layer side. Here is the layer panel and the opacity option. Let's reduce the opacity. Now this is looking good. Let's just move this. Click on this. It is already selected. Let's shift this here, move this. Now, one more thing, we also need to create a duplicate of this effect. So what we are going to do is just click on this layer, click Alt, and just drag it here. As you can see, it has created a duplicate of the background layer. And we need to change the color here. For changing the color, this layer is already selected. Just go here on the top left, click the color, and here we can change the color. Oh, this is looking good. We are also planning to add some lines here. So what we are going to do is we are going to select the pen tool here. Now just create some lines. Simply is that we are going to create some line. We can also play with this. As you can see, And first we need to dismiss the stroke here. So for dismissing the stroke, first you can see, as you can see, first I want to show you, as you can see here is a slight stroke. So first let's select the clear. For removing the stroke, as you can see, here is the stroke option, here is the stroke width, this is 0.2, and we are going to change it to 0. Just change the number to 0, hit enter, and now as you can see, the stroke is gone. And in this, but yeah, we are not going to do that. Let's just, undo this. The stroke is again back. Now we need to change the color first here. Let's reduce the opacity. Now we need to change the color of the stroke. Click on the stroke here, click on the stroke here, and now change the color. Now this is what I wanted. This is looking good. We are going to create some more lines in the same way. Let's click on the pen icon here. Let's create some gauge shape here, some random shape. As you can see, it has already taken the stroke. This is exactly 1 pixel. So that is fine. I'm not going to change it. It's just just want to remove. I just want to reduce the opacity. So let's go on the layer panel, reduce the opacity here. Now this is looking quite good. I am going to leave it this way. Now our background is created. And before moving forward, what we can do is we can also either create a group of all these, or we can also lock all these. For locking, you only need to go on the right side of the layer. As you can see, you will get this lock option. Just click on it and it will be locked. And in the same way, you can just click on the lock icon and it will be unlocked. Simple as that. We can also group all these layers. Just click on the layers. You can either use shift or either use control. Just use shift. Now hit control G. Now these are all grouped. Now what we need to do is we need to create some more thing. Now what we need to do is we need to create some kind of background for our, the text content. And for creating that, we are going to choose the same pen tool again. And what we need to do is we need to create some kind of box here. But yeah, the box will be a little bit different from a regular rectangle. So let's create this manually. Let's click on here. And now while pressing shift, click on the line. Just just extend this. Now here, if we click on this and drag this, you are getting a perfect radius. Let's do the same here. You are getting Just hit shift, you are getting the line here, as you can see, and click on it. Now you have got the perfect line. And in the same way, if we click here, we are going to get a perfect 45-degree line. Just click on it and drag it. As you can see, you are getting the perfect line. And the same way, we are going to do the same. Just extend this first. Click here. Now click here, drag, and it is giving a perfect radius. Now let's extend this, hit shift. Now it has given a perfect line. Now again, let's hit shift. It is giving the perfect 45-degree angle, and click and drag on this. It is giving the perfect 45-degree angle. Now let's do the same here. If we click here, now it's again giving us a perfect 45-degree angle here. It is a little bit changed, so let's double click on it and let's just move this exact point. Now we have got our perfect shape that we wanted. Well, this is just a strokes. We are going to add the fill. This is a fill option. Now we are going to add fill here. As you can see, the opacity is at 0%. That's why it's not showing. Yes, let's increase the opacity. Now you can see it. the opacity is now showing. Let's do the same for this one. Opacity at 100. Now we can see the proper color. So I like this color, so I'm going to keep it. And I need to reduce the stroke. So for reducing the stroke, I am going to click on this stroke option, the stroke width option, change the unit to 0, hit enter. Now we can see the stroke is removed. Now before one more line, now before moving forward, we need to create one more. We need to create the duplicate of this exact text box. So for duplicating, we can just simply, use the traditional copy paste method. Just hit Control V and just hit Control C and Control V. You have got the perfect shape. Just reduce the size here. And I need to change the color here of the previous text box. So let's go here on the color section. Let's click on the color. Let's change the color from here. This is looking good. And I am going to make this a little bit translucent. And I'm going to reduce the opacity here. So for that, let's click on the layer panel, hit the opacity icon. Go on opacity icon, reduce the opacity. Now it is looking good. But yeah, I am going to change. I'm going to do something different. Let's just keep the opacity to 100%. Instead, I'm going to change with the. I'm going to play with the colors opacity, not with the layers opacity. So for reducing the colors opacity, let's click on color again. As you can see, the color is already selected. I am going to reduce the opacity here. Let's reduce the opacity. Click on this one. Let's reduce the opacity. As you can see, the opacity is reduced. I am going to add a stroke here, a white stroke. So for creating the white stroke, let's go on the stroke option. Let's just hit this to 1. Now it is looking good. This is looking exactly as I wanted. So yeah, this is looking good. Uh, Also, we can either change the width of the stroke. This is looking quite wide. So I'm going to change the width to 0.2. Just change the unit to 0.2. Now it's here. Now it is looking quite good. So now what we need to do is we need to add some of the content here. So for adding the content, first let me just log this there. This layer is logged, so I think it's going to move now. So yeah, this is looking okay. Now we need to add the content. For adding the content, just hit the T shortcut. And also you can click on the icon, the text icon here. Clear the text box, just drag it and the text box will be created. Now we can add the text. We are open, but we cannot see it. That's because the layer, as you can see, this is below the text layer. So we are going to change that. Now I have shifted this on the top of the text layer. So now it's visible. Now we need to change the text size, the text color, and the overall font. So for changing the font, we are just going to select the text. And here we have color wheel. Now I'm just going to drag it. And that's simple. And for the changing the font here on the top side, we have font size option. And I'm going to change this. Let's fix this text. Now it is looking quite good. I'm going to reduce the size of this font. Now it is looking good. And in the same way, we need to create another copy of this font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Alt and I'm just going to drag it. While pressing the Alt, I just dragged it. Now we have got another layer, exact duplicate of the previous layer. So now we can change the text. Double click on the text box. You will get this option. The text will be selected. Now we can change the text. This is our text. So we are going to change the size first. We have changed the size. And before moving on, I am going to change And yes, this is looking good. So I am going to change the size here. Now this is looking quite okay. Hit W. We can go on the preview mode. This is looking better now. Let's move this on the right space. This is looking good now. Now we can add the rest of the text here. So let's create another duplicate. Hit the Alt and drag. It has created another duplicate. Now we can change more text. More text is also added. Hit W to go on the preview mode. It is also looking good. Now we are going to create one more text, but before creating one more text, we need some box because I am going to highlight the position that we are hiring for. And for that, we are going to create some rounded rectangle shape. Click on the rounded rectangle tool, and just drag it. Now we have got the perfect rounded rectangle. And I am going to reduce the radius of the sides. So here we have got the option, and I'm going to reduce the radius. I'm also going to change the color. For changing the color, this is already selected. I am just going to click on this color wheel. Now this is also selected. And I'm thinking to increase the radius a little bit. So radius is also increased. Now just move this up. Now I am going to copy the layer, the text layer. The text layer, hit Control C, hit Control V. This is copied. Now I'm going to paste the designation, or the add the designation that we are hiring for. This is a level 3D artist. So I have add the text, and let's just change the size of this. Just select the layer, and then you will get all of the option. You can just drag from here. The size is now changed. So a little bit we are getting the overall look for our social media post here. Now we need to add some more content here, or we can say some text here. So do the same thing, hit or drag it. It will create another copy of the layer. Now just add the text here. Select all, reduce the text size, and it will fit here perfectly. Now it is looking good. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to add some image here. So for image, let's just go on the internet and we can find some image there. Let's go for let's look for some 3D artist. This is looking good. So I'm just going to drag it on our canvas. As you can see, we have dragged a layer on the canvas and we have already imported the PNG file here. We can see design, getting the final look. Just change the size here a little bit. Now it is getting a proper size. Now we can just finalize our text and overall design a little bit. Let's just shift these to a little bit on the left side. Let's just change the size here a little bit. And we can also add some more content here. So for adding more content, we are going to add some points here. So we are going to do the same thing as we did in this one, the designation box. We are going to add some more designations. So for doing that, we are going to copy these layers, the text and this box. So let's select both layers. As you can see, both layers are selected. So we are going to hit Control C and press Control B. As you can see, the layers are copied. So just drag this below. Now we can play with the settings. Let's change the color to something like yellow. Yeah, this is looking good. So now we can change the text here. I have already copied the text. I am just going to paste the text here to save time. And as you can see, we have added our content, the text content here. We are going to create some more boxes here. So just select the text and the box here. Now hit Alt and just drag it. Now do the same, hit Alt and just drag it. Now in this one, we are going to add our points. So here we can add, maybe health insurance. And in this one, we can maybe add some stock options, maybe. So let's add stock options here. This is looking good. And hit W, as you can see, our social media post is getting some final view, and we can add the final points. Final points will be, adding the deadline here. So for adding the deadline, we are going to add some text layer. So we are just going to copy the text layer here. Just select the text, hit R and drag it, and the text layer is copied. And I'm going to change the deadline here. And this is the deadline. And we can still play with the final settings on last. Let's change the height here. This is the height option for the line. Let's change this. This looks fine. And yeah, I'm just going to change some of the settings. So yeah, overall the design is looking good. Or maybe we can change some more settings here. Let's change this. Let's increase this one. Now it is looking better. And so yeah, here we can also add some kind of logo. Right now we don't have logo, so I'm not going to add that. And maybe if we want, we can add some points here. Here's a point option. If you click this, you will get the bulleted option here, but we are not going to add that. And yeah, so this is our final look, as you can see. And let's make this even bold. So just choose on the text option, and here we can change the option to make the text bold. As you can see, we are getting some look of our final product, the final design, and we can just play with the settings a little bit here and there. So it is looking good now. Let's also change the font for the deadline. Now it is looking quite good. So this is how we can create any kind of social media post, and this was just a basic post. And if you want to see more in depth how you can use the Affinity program, especially in the pixel or maybe in the layout or vector section, you can watch my other tutorials as well. But in this one, I have focused mostly on the beginners and intermediate students. So yeah, this is how we can create any kind of social media post in Affinity Designer. And in the same way, if we want to create a new layout from scratch, we can do that as well. I created this document in a very rough way because I just wanted to start from the scratch. Let's first close this document and create a new document from scratch. And I'll show you how you can add bleed or margin from starting of the document, or you can also change the layout of the document. So click Control N which is just simply the shortcut for creating a new document. And here I've got all the settings as basic. If you click on the create document, this will just create a very simple document without anything. Click on layout. As you can see, a very simple page without many settings. Let's close this, create a new document. Now I'm going to show you the settings. Here first the preset is already set at A3. As you can see, here are multiple presets. So click on A3. We want to select the A3 documents. So here is the A3. And here you also got the settings to change the exact dimension for the document that you want to create. Here you got the exact dimension for A3 size. I don't want to change it, so I'll keep it that way. The color format is RGB, the color profile is sRGB. I'm going to keep it. Transparent background. Usually when we create any kind of page, the background is white by default. So we can change the background to transparent if you want to do that. We can also create some artboard if you want, but now we are simply going to create the pages, not the artboard. So yeah, so we can do that as well. For multi-page document, if we click on multi-page, as you can see, the number of pages which are going to be in the document. So I'm gonna create 5 documents, and the first page will be on the right side of the document, not on the left side. So I have selected this, and the arrangement will be horizontally, side by side, left to right. So it is going to be the horizontally settings. And let's move on to the next settings, which is a bleed. Let's click on bleed and margin. Let's drag. Now let's change the settings to 10 mm. Let's change the settings of margin to 10 mm. Now, as you can see, we have selected the settings of multi-page, margins, and bleed. The multi-page settings is we want to create side-by-side pages on A3 size. So that's why we have selected the settings for multi-page. For margins, we need to include 10 mm margins, and for the bleed, we need to include 10 mm bleed. So we have selected all of these settings. Now hit create document. Now, as you can see, we have got the exact document. Let's click on the page number 2 and 3. It is already showing the page number 2 and 3. And now we can start working on it. And on the page number 1, as you can see, as I said, as we had selected, the page is going to start from the right side. So it is showing the right side of the page. Now we can start working on it. The right side is the cover page, and we can start working on the document from the left side, which is the second page actually. And this is how we can create a document from scratch, including the bleeds and the margin. And if we want to change the bleed and the margin, we can just simply go on view. We just simply go on the document, click on document setup. Here we got all of the options again. If we want to change the margin again, let's change the margin to 50, which is obviously a lot. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to show you. Let's change the settings to 50 mm. Click OK. Now, as you can see, we have got a very wide margin, and now we have a really good space to work on. This is our exact space where we are going to work on. Let's click here. As you can see, we are creating the box, and we can create the box inside the frame. And let's create another box. You can create the box inside the frame, and this is how it's done. Hey guys, welcome to this new section when I'm gonna show you how you can create a brand new ebook from scratch. And I'm gonna use my own content. I'm a designer and I have been in the industry for like more than 10 years, and I'm gonna use my same blogs. I do have some blogs here that I usually write on Medium, so I'll copy all of these section and I'm gonna create an ebook, or you can say a booklet, a digital booklet, and I'm gonna show you how we can create that. So let's minimize this. Obviously, when we open the workspace, we get into the vector workspace and we need to switch to the layout mode. When we click on the layout mode, now you can see there is nothing open here. And now we need to select what we need to create. So I'm gonna create an ebook. So we need to select the size, and the size that we have selected is the A4 size. So I'm gonna click Control N. Now, as you can see, we have got all of these size option here, and now I'm gonna click on the A4 size, which is already mentioned here. So we don't need to go and manually put out all of the details here. So we need to just click on A4 and just click on create document, or you can also hit enter. Now your document is created. So now what we need to do, As you can see, something has changed. We went back to the vector workspace. We need to switch back to the layout workspace. Now, as you can see, here is your page one. This is the page one. As you can see, there is no page other than the page one. There is only page one, no page two. We can add another page from here. As you can see, from this icon, click this one. This will give you an option to change some settings here. Click OK, and this will create another page. And if you want to erase the page, you need to click on that page. As you can see, this page is already selected, and if we go and click on this, it will delete the page. So let's do this again. Let's add a new page here. Let's add one more, and we can also duplicate any page we want. So for showing how we can use a duplicate button, let me add something here. Let's add some text here maybe. So let's copy the text here. I'll show you. Let's copy all of these texts here. Press T. Yeah, as you can see, the text is copied. So if I need to duplicate this project, I can just simply go here and click on this icon. This will duplicate the selected page. As you can see, our page is selected. There is also one more difference from InDesign. In the InDesign software, we can just simply one click and it will show the selected page. But in the Affinity Designer, we need to double click on some page if we want to show that page in our workspace. As you can see, I'm clicking one time, it is not showing. I'm double clicking, then it's showing. So that's the only difference. And in the same way, you can use the master pages. We can add any kind of master page here. Here is the option to add any master page. This is giving the option to choose the size. The A4 size is already selected. These are all of the settings. If you want to change any kind of settings here and hit OK, now it has given us the master page. So if we want to add anything in a master page, so let's try to add some line here. As you can see, we have selected the rectangle shape as I've already told you in the tool section. So we have created this rectangle. Now we are going to change the color. So let's go on to color tab and let's change the color here. Now let's click on the page number 1. As you can see, nothing is showing because we haven't added the master page in our page number 1 yet. So let's right click on the page number 1. Now you can see there is an option to apply the master page. Now click on apply master page. It will give you an option to choose the page that you have created. We have only created master page, which is master A, not master B or C. It is only giving us the option to show the master A page. So master A is selected, and if you want to apply the master page in all pages or odd pages or even pages, or if you want to specify any specific number of pages, you can do that as well. So master page A is selected and the specific page and the specific page number 1 is selected. So hit OK. Now as you can see, our master page is showing on the page number 1. So this is how we can use a page and master pages section. We have already created these pages. So let's do one thing. Let's erase these content. Double click here. Let's erase this. Choose this and go on the master page. Let's erase this. Another very crazy thing in the Affinity Designer is we can directly import any kind of Adobe's, not any kind of Adobe's file maybe, but most of the files, most of the major files. Let's import an AI file, which is the Illustrator file here, and we are going to import this file, and this will open the exact file with all of the layers without any problem. This is one of the best features that Affinity is giving us. As you can see, when I drag it in the designer, as you can see, it is giving us all of the option, all of the different option on how we can import the design. It is also giving us the preview of the design that the file already had. So it is the preview option. Here are all of the settings and click OK. Now as you can see, it has imported all of the pages and all of the content without any problem, which is one of the greatest feature of the Affinity tool, to just just import all of the files, so we don't have to create a separate file for Affinity Designer. If we already have a lot of Adobe's files, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator files, we can just directly import them in the Affinity Designer without any problem. As you can see here, 2 pages, page number 1, page number 2, and just click on these board. As you can see, these are This is giving all of the design option. These are all of the layers. It's grouped inside this group. So we can copy anything from here. So what, as I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an ebook of my articles which are already present in the Medium. If you want to read them, you can read them as well. And I'm gonna create a little handbook where you can learn all of those things about the UI UX design. So first let's design this. I'm gonna design this first. So let's check all of these pages. These pages are quite fine empty and we don't need to change anything in related to size. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change something in the master page because we need to create something more attractive rather than having just a simple white background. So what I'm gonna do is, here is our file which is named as entitled. Here is the file that we have imported from Illustrator file. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import some of the designs from here which I'm gonna paste in my artboard. So let's copy these. You might have not noticed that there's a white background, so we need to first erase it. The white background is selected, just hit the backspace. Now it is erased. Now we only want to copy these items here in this space. So we have selected these items just by dragging. Now hit Ctrl C and go back to our artboard. Now click it here. As you can see, it is pasted. Now we need to change the design and move the design to a desired space. For moving, I'm gonna simply use the move tool. Move tool is already selected, so I'm gonna just move it as per my need. And I also need to change the size here. So while pressing the shift key, I'm gonna change the size here. As you can see, the size and the aspect ratio is now logged. So I'm gonna choose the desired size here and leave it here. Now I need to import more elements in the same way. So I'm gonna go back to our open file here. Now let's copy some more elements here. I like these elements. First we need to erase this background. Otherwise when we copy the background or the content, the background will also get copied from the selected area. Let's erase this and just select these elements here. Or let's do one thing. Let's select these one. These looks better. So let's just enter Control C, go back to your artboard and hit Control V. Now it is selected here. And now with the help of move tool, I'm gonna move it as per my need. I'm gonna also rotate this one. Let's put this one here instead of here. So let's move a pointer here. It is giving the rotation option. Let's rotate it here and we want to rotate this exactly 90 degrees. For doing that, just hit the shift icon. It will log the rotation angle in the unit of 15 degrees. So we can do this here. Now we can just copy this anywhere on our space. Now it is done. Now let's do the same thing again. Let's go back to the open file. Now let's copy another design here. Just select the elements here, press Ctrl C, go back to your artboard, press Ctrl V and here it is pasted. Let's move our design as per our needs. Let's move them here and I'm gonna move this element here. First rotate this, increase the size and just put them here. I think this should work. Let's do this one more time. Go back to the open file, select any element that you like here. Control C and Control V. Now we have pasted all of the elements here. I'm gonna copy this element again. So we have selected these elements and I'm going to press Control C and copy these elements. Let's press Control C. Now again press Control V. Select the area. Now press Control V. As you can see, this element is copied now. Now select all of these elements and just resize them according to the needs. Now it is looking quite okay. So I'm gonna just make some final changes here and I'm gonna leave it as they are. So this is completed, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to make some kind of design elements, add some kind of design elements in the pages. So yeah, this is how it is looking now. Let's change the design or the size here. Let's change the size here a little bit. Yeah, it is looking quite okay as we intended. Let's go on the other pages. Other pages don't have that design because we haven't applied the master A page on these pages. So we can do that as well. Just right click on the page number, any page number will work. Just click on apply master, and in the apply master you will get all of the option. As I said, master A is selected because we only have the master A, and click on all pages, hit OK. Now it will show the design to all of the pages. As simple as that. Now we have made our design, made our inner pages design here. And before moving forward, I also want to create the first page. So for creating the first page, let's create a new page here. Let's click on the add pages icon here. Settings are already there. Now click OK. As you can see, new page is selected, but I don't want all of these design to be here. So what we can do is right click on this one, and now you got option to clear masters. Now click on the clear masters. Now it will clear all of the master settings that we have here. Now as you can see, this is a blank page. We can create any design from scratch. Now let's put this page on the front page. As you can see, this is how you can just simply drag and change the numbering of the page. Now this is at the top page. Let's click this, and now we have a blank page. And the same way, I'm gonna copy the design from the open file and I'm gonna paste it here. So let's get some more elements here. Here are my elements. I'm gonna just select all of these elements, just hit Control C, go back to the workspace, hit Control V, and now our design is copied. One more thing, I also want to know where is the exact center of the page, and in the same way that we used to work in Photoshop, we can use the same way here as well. We can create any grid line here. Just click on here on the ruler side. As you can see, this is giving all of the option at the top. Now if we move left and right, it is giving the exact length of the page, and if we hit the shift, it will give the length in unit of 2. As you can see, it is showing 154, it will show 156. If we move left, it will show 154, it will show 152, it will show 150, and 150 is the exact middle of this page. This page is exactly 290 mm, and 145 mm is the center of this page. So we are going to zoom in, and now I'm gonna move this line to here, which is exactly 145. Now we need to shift the design a little bit on the left side. So just select all of these designs, zoom it a little bit. Now just press the left key. As you can see, it is giving us a nice direction. Let's zoom this design a little bit. Now it is looking perfect. Let's go on to preview mode. For preview mode, you can click on this icon. Now it is giving us a really good look. I'm gonna copy some more designs here. So let's go back to our open file. Now let's select some designs from here. Control C and Control V here. It is looking quite fine. So let's do this one more time. Let's select these areas here. Go back to your artboard. And now we have copied and pasted this design here. Let's see these layers. We don't want them here. Yep, this will work. So yeah, now our cover page is ready, and we need to add the content on the cover page. So this is how we roughly design all of the basic things. This is how we add the page, delete the page, add the master page in the new Affinity Designer, which is, a quite replacement of the Adobe InDesign tool. Now I'm going to show you how we can add the title, the subtitle, the text, the body, also how we can use the text styles here. And I'm going to show you how we can create the final look of the book. So in the next step, let's first create the heading here. As you can see, there are already a lot of, design styles already present here. So we can do two things. Either we can delete all of these all of these preset here, or we can also create a new from scratch. As you can see, there are different icons for heading and here. So let's go back onto our article here and let's copy these article, hit the T shortcut, and this will give us the option to create the box, the text box, paste it here. Now it has pasted the text that we had copied. I want to create different style for the title and subtitle. So let's select these text here, cut this and just paste this again in a new box. As you can see, we have got our text, but the thing is, this is not exactly designed as we want. So we are going to change the setting as we would usually do in any other software. So just select these text first, and we are going to change the settings here. And as you can see here on the top left side, you got the option to change the font and here the font size as well. We are going to change the font first here. Instead of Arial, let's choose any other font. Let's choose this one. This looks good, or maybe we can increase the size a little bit. We need to, yes, increase the size of the box. Let's do this. Now it is looking good. So let's decrease this. Now let's do the same thing with our main title here. Let's choose a different font. Let's increase the size first. Here's the size. Now let's change the font here. Is it looking good? Anyways, let's just leave it. I just need to show it to you. So yeah, this will work anyways. Let's increase the size a little bit. Let's select all of these text boxes and change the positioning. This is looking okay. Let's change the font here one more time. This is looking okay, so I'll leave it here. And I need to change the spacing here, so let's change the spacing here. Now it is looking quite okay, so I'll leave it here. So we can also change the color here. I want to change the color to exactly this color. So for that, I just need to keep this list selected and click on the eyedropper tool. And now I need to drag it from there. As you can see, we are dragging. Now it is giving us the exact color option here. Release the left click. Now as you can see, the color is changed. Let's do the same for this one. This time I'm going to use the orange one. So let's select the layer. Go on to the color picker tool, drag it from there. Now leave it on the orange color. As you can see, the color is changed. Let's make it a little bit more darker. So I'm going to use color wheel this time. And now I have made this a little bit darker. I'm going to change the size a little bit here. Yes, this is going to work. And I'm also going to add my name here. So for that, just click on the Alt button while dragging the layer. And as you can see, just by this, we can simply copy and paste the layer just like you used to do in the Photoshop or InDesign. Let's do that again. Hit the Alt button, now drag it. And as you can see, it has copied the exact layer. Now let's put the name. I'm gonna reduce the size here. Let's select this layer, select all of these text. I'm gonna change the size a little bit here. So now as you can see, our cover page is quite ready now. So So now you can see our cover page is ready now. Now move on to the inner pages, which are the paragraph pages. And first let's go back to our article and just copy all of these title here. Our title is already copied. Now I'm gonna create a new title. Use the T button, which is the shortcut for the type tool, and create the box here and just paste it here. And before moving ahead, I want to create a line inside the page so we can get the exact number so we can get the exact positioning where we are working. So it is giving us the exact option. Let's zoom out and fix this. It is giving exact number of 145.0 mm. So yeah, this is the exact mid of the artwork. This is the exact mid of the page. Now it's time to add some paragraph or text styles. So for paragraph or text styles, we can either create a new paragraph or text style from scratch, or we can edit them here. So let's edit the heading number 2. When I clicked on the heading number 2, as you can see, it has already applied the settings in the text that we had selected. So let's double click on the heading number 2 here. It will give this pop-up. So now we can change all of these settings here. Let's click on the style button. Now we can change any kind of style we want here. As you can see, this is giving us all of these style. We can change the font from here in the character section. In the character section, we can change any character that we want. Let's see which font looks good here. I think this should work, so let's leave this one. I don't know. The font name is all n. So yeah, anyways, let's leave this. This is a regular. This is only giving us the option for the regular style. So anyways, that is fine. For font size, we need to make it bigger. Let's make it to 20. And for changing the spacing, we need to go on the paragraph. We need to go on the spacing. Now we can change the spacing here in the spacing section. Just click on the leading option. We can change any kind of unit that we want to change. I have selected a percentage because it is quite easy to work with. That's why I have selected the percentage. Let's choose this percentage to 45%. It is selected now, and I'm gonna change the color here. Now it is done. This was heading number 2. So now we have worked on the heading number 2. In the same way, we are going to copy the text as well. Let's go back on our article. Let's copy this. Let's copy this text. Go back to our software. Click T, which is a shortcut for type tool, and just paste it here. And we are going to use the body text here, which is the body text is already given. Just click on it. Now it will give us. Now it will apply the property of the body text here. We want to change the text style for the body. Double click on it. Go to font. Now we can change any font, any desired font here. Let's choose the Affinity font here, and let's keep the font size to 12, although it's quite large. So let's change the font size to 10. Hit OK. Now it has copied the style here. Let's change the box size here. Let's change some settings here. Erase the spaces. Now if we click on the preview mode, it is looking quite good. Now we can use all of these type of setting literally anywhere we want, and this is how it is going to work. Now let's add more content here. This is another heading. So here I'm gonna create another text box here. Text box is created here. Paste the content. Now the content is selected. But now we need to change our setting. Now we need to apply a different font settings. So for that we need to go on these. For that we need to create a new heading. There are heading 1 and heading 2 present. There is no heading 3. So what we can do is we can duplicate the heading number 3. As you can see, it is giving us the option to duplicate the heading number 2. Let's click this, and for the font size we are going to change the font and hit OK. Now if we click on the heading number 3 while our layer is selected, let's click this, and as you can see, it is giving us the option for the new layer. It is showing us the new font style. And for changing the color, we already have our use color here in this recent color panel, in the recent swatches panel. So just click on this, and as you can see, our new subtitle is created. So let's add more text here. Let's copy this one. Let's paste the content in the same way that we did here. So we are going to duplicate this text box. So for that, just hit the Alt button and now just drag it. It has copied the text box. Now double click it, hit Ctrl plus A, delete this or just directly paste this. We have got all of our new content here. So this is how simply we can add the text here. And suppose we want to create a water flow text here, we can do that as well. In the new section, we will copy all of these text here and just duplicate this text here. Now this is a huge text. As you can see, this is a full page of text, and I'm gonna copy it here. Now just make the box larger, really large. And as you can see, this is pasted. It is showing the font exactly as a body font. So we are going to first erase all of these unnecessary spaces here, and as you can see, this is a huge text. So there is a lot of text content in this text box. And what we can do is, just like InDesign, we can create another text box here. Just click on this rectangle here and it will create another text box which is already connected to the present text box. The body font is already selected. So we only need to change the font for the title or the subtitle here. Just select the subtitle here and click on the heading number 3. It will change the setting to the heading number 3. The heading number 3 looks quite large, so let's change the size here. Let's double click on heading number 3. Let's change the size from 16 to 14 maybe. 14 looks good. So yeah, let's leave it to 14. Let's do the same thing with the 3. Point number 3. Just select the point number 3 and click on heading number 3. Now it has changed the setting. Let's do the same thing again with the 4, with the 5, and with the 6th, with 7. And if we have more text here, let's see. Let's create another box here. Seems like we do have a lot of text here. Let's click on the number 8, click on number 9, click on number 10. I think that's all. Anyways, we will know. Let's remove the unnecessary space here first. Oh, I haven't created the line in the center, so let's do that first. Let's create the line here, 145, 144.9, 145.0. Yeah, this is it. So I need to fix all of these text here, so I'm gonna just play with all of these settings here. This will change the settings here. Now it is looking quite good. As you can see, all of the text is aligned. I'm gonna just select all of the text and just shift that into the center. Do the same thing again here. Select the text and just move them a little bit down so it will go to the center. So yeah, this is how it will work. So this is how the settings and all of the, so this is how the paragraph and all of other settings work. And before finalizing, let's change the color here. Let's change the color of the text, color of the subtitle here, and also the subtitle. The distance between the subtitle looks a little bit oversized. So let's double click on the heading number 3. Let's go on the spacing and just decrease the spacing somewhere. Yeah, it is looking okay now. Just change the box sizes here, change the box sizes here, and yeah, this looks good. And let's change the color first. Let's select these text here. Let's go on to recent swatches. Click here. This will change the color. Let's do that again. Select the text, click on the swatches here, and repeat the process. Now we have changed the color. And one more thing I want to add here is I want to make the example text a little bit bold. So in the simple way that you can imagine, we need to select the text here and just hit the Control B, which is shortcut for making any text bold. So let's do that again. In the bar, I have selected this text, hit Control B, and this has made the text bold. Let's do that again. Yeah. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Let's do this again. Here again. Yeah, this is looking quite good. Let's go on to our preview mode. As you can see, our ebook is looking quite good. Now our workspace has started to look like an ebook. Let's change the sizing here one more time. Oh, I left this color. And yes, this is now looking good as we intended. And our first article is done. So let's move on to the next article, which is WCAG here. And in the same way, I'm going to add the content here as well. So let's first copy the content here. Let's go back on to our artboard. Here is our content that we want to copy here first. What we are going to do is we are going to hit Alt, and here, as you can see, we have created a copy of the text. Now we are just going to drag it here and hit Control A. This will select all of the text, and now I'm going to paste the selected text here. As you can see, we have got all the main text here, and in the same way, I'm going to copy all of those other boxes here. Just hit the Alt button, and now as you can see, I have copied the box here. In the same way, let's copy the text here. I have copied the text. Let's paste the text here. First erase this. Now I have copied the text here. Now I am going to copy all of the content in the same way, and I'm going to change this font size and font settings here. So first let's erase this. I have pasted the content here. Now we have got all of the content here. Now our first title in this article is what is WCAG. So we find the what is WCAG, we'll select it and just hit the heading number 3 button, and it has changed the settings for the subtitle here. And in the same way, first we'll create a new box because the article is quite long. We are going to change the button. We are going to change the size of this box first. This looks okay, so we are going to leave it here. Now we are going to create an extension of this text box. We are going to click on this triangle icon here, click here. Now just drag it will create an extension of the exact text box here. Let's remove these spaces first. Now, which is the next thing? First, we need to add the bullet points here. So we are going to add the bullet points here. Let's start with these. So we are going to add the bullet points here. So for bullets, we already have some options here. Here it is. We have already the bullets point settings here. So we are just going to change it. We are not going to change it a lot. I'll just select these text and hit on the top side of the workspace. Hit the bullet icon and it will add the bullets. And the next one is the YCAG matters. This is the font. We are going to select it, hit the headline 3 button, and it will just change the headline settings. Now it is looking good. Now here are some more bullet points, so we are going to change it. Just select the text, hit the button icon, and it will change the settings. It will add the bullet points here. Next one is the fourth pillar of WCAG port. The fourth pillar of the fourth pillar of the WCAG, and click on the headline 3. Now click on the first point, which is the perceivable. Click on the headline 3, select and click on the headline 3. Yes, this is working. So select the text, hit on the bullet icon, and it is done. We need to we don't have a now we don't have any more pages. For first we need to duplicate these page. Now as you can see, this page is duplicated, but we need to erase this content. We will create an extension of this text box again. Now I hit on the triangle icon and we will create another box here. And then the box is created. This is just an extension of the old text box here on the top. Now we'll continue working here. And we left the content here, which is in the second section, which is the operable. Now we are going to continue working on this one. Just select the text, hit the bullet icon, it will give you the bullet. Now select the text, hit the headline number 3 icon. This will change the settings. Select the text, click on the headline 3 option. This will change the settings. Select the text here, click on the bullet option. Select this text here, click on the bullet option. Change the box size here, create a new box from the triangle, create a new box here. Oh, I see one thing. This is not the bullet point. So for removing the bullet, we just need to select the text and uncheck the bullet mark, and this will undo the bullet points. We need to make this as our subtitles are. So just click on this text, just select this text and click on the headline number 3. And this will give it the exact right settings. And just change the settings here. This is giving the right settings here. And let's change the size here. Now it is giving us the right design. Click on these sentences, hit on the bullet icon. Oh, I did it again. So I'm going to remove this. Just select this, click on the bullet icon. This has removed it. Let's make this subtitle. We need to add another page. Right click on the page, hit duplicate. Remove the old text box. Now before adding our content, I'm gonna duplicate the page again, so we don't have to erase all of these settings again and again. click on the triangle, create a new text box here. Now just change the subtitle font here. Here the subtitle font is changed. Let's do some minor settings here. Oh, this is also bullet points. So let's add the bullet points here. These are the bullet points. So level A, it's going to be a bullet point. Level AA is going to be a bullet point. Level triple A is going to be the bullet point. Yes, this is working. This is looking good. And the same goes with the WCAG. Let's do the same here. Select the text, hit the bullet icon, and it will do the job. Quick list. Let's select the text, hit the heading 3 icon. This will do the job. Now create another extension of this box. Just click on the triangle, create a new triangle here, and create a new text box here. And this is given as the box here. Select the subtitle, click on heading number 3, and do the same again. Add the bullets here, remove the extra spaces, we remove the extra spaces, and let's see what other things left. Only the final thoughts are left. So let's choose the final thoughts, click on heading number 3, and this is given us the final look here. And yes, now the overall ebooks looks quite good. Now this is, as you can see, now this is showing the exact look of an ebook. This is not maybe very well made, but yeah, you got the point. And now in the same way, as you used to save the file, and now for saving the file as we used to do in the Photoshop, we need to go to the file menu here, and also we can press Control S. Let's go to file, let's click on save as, go to a desired space here. Here just give it a name. This is Affinity, and this is the Affinity file. So let's click on save. Now your file is saved. So now we have created the design, the basic design, which includes the overall, the vector graphics and the text. We have also added all of the text here, as you can see. Oh, I missed the title. Let's go and create the title here first. Let's copy the title from here. Just copy here and just let's paste it. So yes, our title, our graphics, our basic graphics, and all of the text is already in the design. So now what we need to do is, what we can do is we can add the table of content. So for now, what we usually used to do in the Adobe InDesign was we usually create all of the headlines, title, and all of those things, and later we used to link them to the exact place where the content is. Suppose we want we want to give the title key aspects of Jacob's law. So there we usually put the title and link them to the exact position where the title is, where the content is. In the Affinity designer, there's a little bit of difference. In Affinity, what we can do is we can create a text box, and then we just need to create, just use the option for the table of content. It's quite that simple, and later on we can edit those things. So first, let's create a new page, because here we don't have any empty page. Let's create a new page. We are going to click on page number 1. Here, click on add pages, hit OK, and now new page is created. And for this new page, I want to apply the layout A. So what we can do is we can right click on the page number 2, click on apply master. Now you got the settings. It has already taken the settings for specified pages. Hit OK. Now you got the pages. Now you got the design. Now we need to add a table of content here. So for table of content, we first need to create a text box. Hit T for the text box. Here, create a box. Now as you can see, if I type here, it will show. Delete this. Now if I go to text, here you got the option for the table of contents. Here as you can see, there is the option of insert, update, and update all. So for inserting the table of content, we just simply need to click on the insert button. As you can see, when I click insert, all of the content is pasted here. And as you can see, it's a lot of content because we have a lot of pages here. As you can see here, I have already added a lot of content in this one. So it is, just simply taking all of the headings selected and just paste it in the table of content section. So what we can do is we can look on the left side here. Here you will find all of these settings. As you can see, if I uncheck the heading number 2 option, it will only show the heading number 1. Works, and this is how it works. So suppose we want to show the both heading 1 and heading 2, I just simply need to click on heading number 2, and you can see all of the content is here. And as I said, we can just extend the text box here. This is an extension of this text box. So now we have created an extension of the text box here. And I want to, add one more page here. For that, I just simply right click on the page number 2, click on duplicate. And as you can see, page number 2 and 3, these are the duplicates. Page number 3 is a duplicate of page number 2. So for page number 3, I'll just delete this box, select this and hit delete. Now I need to create an extension of this box. So I'll click on this box, the text box, click on the right triangle, and now we can create a new box. And in the same page, let's create another box. Just click on this right triangle and create a new box. And as you can see, now we have properly created the table of content here. Now we can just, fix this, the height and all of those things. Let's just fix this. The page number is hidden, so I'll just, increase the width. It is looking perfect. It is also looking good. So I'll just increase the size here. Let's remove this box. We don't need this now. Yeah. As you can see, our table of content is created. As simple as that, we can, create any table of content. And it is quite simple. Here you got the option to, edit the settings of table of content. And if I click on the boxes, you can see the settings is enabled. Now in this section, we can add or erase, just edit any kind of setting you want. Here only heading 1 and heading 2 is included. Only these options are checked, and that's why it is only showing the title and the heading for these two options. If we want to add more things, we can add that too. As you can see here, we got the option for body, bullet 1, bullet 2. So if I click on body, the whole body content will show up here. So that's a lot. That's why I'm not clicking it. So yeah, that's how we can do it. And we got another settings here. We have different kind of settings here. As you can see, we can but now the final part, everything is completed. And one more thing, if I export this, and these links will be clickable. So let me show you first how to export, because the export is a little bit different from the Adobe suite. It's just basically because Affinity Designer is a complete package of tool, unlike Adobe's individual tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, and Design. But in Affinity, when you click on export, you only get one option, and in that one dialog box, you get all of the export file types. So what we can do is here we can just go on file, obviously, and you'll get the option for export. You can also use the shortcut, which is Control Alt Shift W. You can click on export. Now, as I said, when you click on export, unlike the Adobe suite, you get, all of the file types. So here, PDF is already selected. If I want to export this in JPEG, I can do that. Just click on JPEG, it will select JPEG. I need to export this in PDF. So I'll just choose PDF, and inside the PDF, we have a lot of other options in the PDF segments as well. In the PDF segments, as you can see, there are a lot of PDF types for print, for digital, print ready, high quality, low quality, and these are all of the other things. And the second things, there are multiple pages, so we need to select which page we need to include in the exported file. We have 11 pages, and in the right side of the dialog box, we can actually select what pages and which pages we need to include in our exported file. We can also, just like we used to do in the Adobe suite, we can also choose the number. And here, as you can see, you are getting option for the approx file that the exported file will be. If you want to rasterize, that will give you the property. And these are some other things that we used to play with in the Adobe side of things. And it works exactly as the Adobe. The settings are just equally same for Adobe's and Infinity. The file created will be a little bit different, maybe in the sizes, but all the basic settings are equal. These are the settings. And save the file. Here it is giving the option to save the file. Just click the save the file. I have already created it. So I have already created it. So I'm gonna replace it. Just click on yes. Now our file is created. Let me show you. This is our file. This is the file we have created. So let's click on this, and this is our final result. Let's check this in full screen mode. Please don't judge this overall design. It's just to show you how things works in Affinity. And everything looks fine. The design is a vector we copied from Illustrator. So this is a proper vector. This is working exactly fine. And the title, the table of content, all of other content, it is working fine. The last thing is, when we click on any table of content, we want the user to get on the exact same space. So let's click on somewhere. Let's click, and as you can see, it is showing on. And yeah, this is how things work in Affinity Design. So yeah, this is the tutorial with the Affinity in Design, mainly in the layout segment. And in the other segment, I'll tell you about how we can use a vector and pixel section of the Affinity Designer. Another very important feature while creating any kind of document will be guides and grids. So let me show you how we can add that. As you can see here, we really don't have any kind of grades, any kind of margin, or anything else. So if I want to create a line from center, or maybe create some kind of margin, so how we can do that? We can go on to the view option here, and you can see here we have the options for the guides. Click on it, you got the options for the guides. Now what you can do is, I need to create a line exactly from the center. For So this is going to be a vertical line, and as you can see in the vertical guides, there is nothing here. It's empty. So we just need to click on the vertical guides, click on it, and as you can see, our vertical guide is here. But this is not showing. So let me see what is happening. I clicked it again for some reason it was not showing. But anyways, now it's showing. And now it is exactly at the center. When we click on something, it automatically goes into exactly at the center. So let's create a horizontal line. Just hit it, and as you can see, we got the horizontal line. And if we want to shift or add new, we can just simply do that just by clicking on it. Here we have clicked on it, and we have another guideline. But the thing is, it's not showing here because it is exactly as the same width as the other guide. So let me change it here. As you can see, I've changed the position. Now as you can see, we got another grid. And in the same way, if we want to, just use our mouse, we can do that as well. Let's create another horizontal guide here. And now just we can move that from our mouse. As simple as that. And we can add as many grid as we want. Let's put this here. Let's put this here. Let's put this one here. Let's add another grid. This is going to be, I think, horizontal. No, vertical grid. So yeah, let's create another grid. Now we got the grid. And in the same way, if we want to create a space, create just a margin, we can add that too, just in the column section. Here we have one column. It is a whole column and whole row, just a single. So that's why it's not showing. If we change the number from 1 to 2, just click it. And as you can see now, you can see it is exactly showing there are two columns. And in the same way, if we want to increase the number of rows, we can do that as well. Just increase the number, and as you can see, we got 2 rows and 2 columns. If we increase the number of rows, as you can see, we are getting more number of rows, as simple as that. And if we increase the columns, we are getting more columns. And this is how it is. So this is how we can add the margins. And we can also add the settings for the gutter. The gutter setting, we can keep it in the 1 mm. This is how it's done. Now as you can see, we got a proper space. We got 2 rows and 2 columns with 1 mm of gutter. And this is, looking quite well. This is exactly balanced. This is exactly at the center. So we don't have to worry about, the overall the layout. And in the same way, if we want to add some margin, we can do that here as well. Here you got the option for the margin. And in the same way, when we work on anything, either it's a rectangle or a page, we get the option to link all of 4 side settings. And in the same way, we get the same settings here and the Affinity too. So if we click on it, as you can see, this is now unlinked and this is now linked. And if I increase any unit here, as you can see, let's say in the unit from 0 to 10 in the left margin, it's left. Now as you can see, we got margin exactly of the 10 mm. If we increase the margin, now we got margin for the 20 mm. Let's decrease the margin to 15. Now we have decreased the margin to 15 mm. And this is how we can use any kind of margin or grid lines depending on our needs. And if we want to remove anything, we will just simply click on remove all guides. It will remove all guides here. And if we want to remove all of the column guides, you can just simply decrease the number here and it will reduce the opacity because this is simply a 1 row and a 1 column. So that's why it's not showing here. And yeah, this is how we can add any kind of margin.